I went into Twisters with low expectation. I'm not someone that grew up with the original film. I had no nostalgia for the film. I'm just coming in with a fresh mind, trying to see what they have for me, and I didn't think this concept would hold my attention for 2 hours. I'm happy to report back to everyone watching this video right now that this movie is perfect.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
It's the perfect summer blockbuster. Let's talk about it. Haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper gets lured back to the open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Tyler Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. As the storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. The director of this film, Chung, is a director I've had my eye on since his film Minari. I was very impressed by that small film about the human condition and moving on and trying something new versus nature. And he kind of brings a lot of those sensibilities over to his big blockbuster. And I thought that he did a really great job of creating small personal stories as much as he could in this type of film while doing this big bombastic blockbuster. The movie is shot on 35mm film, which I've heard is the best way to do like VFX and CGI. It looks better on that versus digital, which is what most people have been shooting on lately. And the tornadoes, the twisters, whatever you want to call them, look fantastic. Oklahoma looks gorgeous. There's some really gorgeous scenery in this movie. The movie looks fantastic. It deserves to be seen on the biggest screen possible. And the way he treats the twisters, the tornadoes, like they're kaijus, like they're Godzilla monsters, just swirling around, going and destroying people without any rhyme or reason, no malice at all, just stomping over a lot of people's ground. And these heroes are coming in, trying to stop it, but running away from it when that monsters turned on them. I really like the way they positioned the twisters here, and it just, a lot of sequences in this movie were glorious. It's absolutely thrilling, really, really fun, and really horrifying, devastating in a lot of parts, especially when they get close up of people getting sucked up away. The stakes were built high in the way that he positioned the twisters and really captured what you feel when you want to watch a big blockbuster in the theaters. While not the most profound story in the world, I think the plot cooked up by Joseph Kosinski and Mark L. Smith was the perfect story for this kind of film. One part throw light is Kate, the main character, played by Daisy Edgar-Jones, is pulled back into the storm chasing, and she's all about helping people. The tragedy that happens in the beginning of the film that affects her over the course of the film, she was trying to find a way to figure out how to disabilize twisters, and for her to meet up and bump heads with a character like Tyler Owens, played by Glenn Powell, who seems like he's all into himself, all for the glory, doing it for the YouTube views. It's really good conflict between these two, and I think that they did a really great job of extending that into like a love triangle, which I didn't expect. That this movie had a lot of rom-com vibes to it, and even had kind of a lot of the stereotypical pinpoints that you would expect for a rom-com, even with the, you know, you say the wrong thing to the girl and then that pushes her away to the next guy. They do all those things here, but they tied in with the story and the plot and everything that's going on with the twisters, so it's not too bogged down in it. And Glenn Powell, he's starting to pop up every year, right? We saw him at the end of the last year with Anyone But You. He did Hitman this year on Netflix, which was a big hit, and now he's in Twisters, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see him pop up twice per year, every year. He's a movie star. He has the charisma out the wazoo. He really plays a charismatic douchebag that has likable sensibilities when he get underneath. He looks like someone that probably would be on one note or not that great of an actor, but he actually surprisingly has tons of range, and in this film he does a fantastic job. To me, he's a mixture of Matthew McConaughey and Tom Cruise in the best way possible, as he plays Tyler Owens, the opportunistic guy that's trying to get his name out there, but has a little bit of a heart of gold, surprisingly, and they had some depth there that I didn't expect them to go, and he was yeeing so much high, he had me screaming out,
"If you feel it, Jason!" I said, if you feel it.
And this character, he could easily have fallen into tropes, but I like the depth that not only the writers gave him, but that Glenn Powell brought to the character as well. And you match him up with someone like Daisy Edgar-Jones, who has a lot of warmth, light, and caring in her performances that she does. As a fan of her from Normal People, if you've seen that TV show, you know how great she is as an actor and how much range she has, and she does a great job here being the heart of the film. Someone that gone through so much tragedy, trying to work through it, brought back into the life that caused that tragedy, and trying to like fight with the conflict of like, I should be doing this because I have a talent that can help, but also I'm not over what happened to me. So I really enjoyed her character arc, which I was surprised that this film, this dumb, mindless disaster blockbuster, had made the time to not only do a romance and some environmental storytelling about how things affect them, but each character has like a character arc here. Not the deepest character arcs, but enough that you care about the journey these characters going on. And Daisy Edgar Jones did a fantastic job. To complete the trio is Anthony Ramos as Javi. I'm a big fan of this guy too. He was in Transformers last year. He's been in a bunch of other stuff before and after that, even in Dumb Money, and he always does a great job and stand out. And his character here is torn between doing what he's being paid for and also his relationship with Kate Cooper, who's played by Daisy Edgar Jones, because he is part of her past as well, kind of going through some of the same things she's going through, but handle it in a much different way. And their three-way dynamic was really, really fun to watch. I wish they leaned a little bit more into it in some fun and more serious ways, but what they did here was really tantalizing. And even though I didn't watch the original Twister film, when I looked at the cast, it was stacked with a bunch of actors, even through the supporting cast, that are big name actors. And I think that here, when we look in the future, we're going to see that a lot of actors here in the supporting cast are dope actors. Some of my favorite actors from television shows, other movies, were here, and they all did a great job with their small roles in the small time that they had. One of the only dings that I could give this film, I wish that they had more to do, because they did introduce these interesting folks on both teams, on both sides, Glenn Powell's Tyler Owens side and Daisy Edgar Jones' Kate side, that I really want to know more about and get invested to. Even had David Cornsweet, Superman himself, in the film, and he did a good job as well. Overall, this movie is not the perfect film, but it's the perfect summer blockbuster to go with a bunch of friends and watch. It's thrilling, it's fun, it's a lot more funny than I expected. It has a little bit of romance in there, and the Twister action is worth it to go check on the biggest screen possible. It was so intense, the stakes were super high, and I just haven't seen anything like this in theaters all year. I had so much fun. I ended up loving this film. It gave me exactly what I needed, and with that said, I'm gonna give it a B+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Twisters yourself? As someone that saw the original Twister film, did you feel like this was a great legacy sequel, or because it didn't have as much references to the old movie, you were kind of disappointed? And as someone that just jumped right into this film and then not knowing anything from Twisters, did you enjoy it? Let me know how you guys feel. If you like my review, hit that like button, attack that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you can notify my reviews, reactions, live discussions, and much, much more. You can watch more content right now.